We need to truly understand what the relationship of a master and a disciple is. Okay? A master and a disciple relationship is not like the relationship that a teacher has with their students in class. And the responsibility of the teacher in a class is to teach the students whatever the teacher is proficient in. Let's say it's an English teacher. Then their responsibility is there, the kids' grammar and to make sentences, to be able to write well, and everything about the English language. If it's a math teacher, then they're going to teach them mathematics. Okay? But when they teach them mathematics, all teachers are hoping for their students to do well. Okay? But that's all their responsibility is, to just teach them. They're not there to 100% make sure that all the kids have learned everything exactly. And this is why when we grade the children, they all come at different levels. Depending on the receptivity of the child, depending on the diligence of the child, depending on the focus and concentration of the child, they all come different. Okay? So the teacher is teaching them without true responsibility of getting all of them to the same goal. Okay? The relationship between a child and a parent is such where the parent would do anything to make the life of the child better. So as an example, let's say a family is having a difficulty making the financial ends meet. Yeah. So if they have difficulty in making the financial ends meet, the parents will provide for the children before they'll provide for themselves. Okay? And so let's say it's food. So a mother might not eat herself, but will make sure that the child is well fed. If it's clothing, the mother will feel that the child should be clothed properly, and she might not be clothed as well. And so as a parent is always trying to do the very best so the physical state of their children is kept well. Now the relationship between the master and the disciple is at much more deeper level than the relationship between a parent and a child. In life we see many parents have trouble with their children, and there are many families where the children are not talking to the parents are not talking to the kids, and they don't like each other, they have big fights, and all kinds of things happen, even though most parents try their very best to make sure that the kids are well. But we know that the difficulties come in. But the relationship between the master and the disciple is such that once a disciple or a seeker has been initiated, that's when they become a disciple, when they're initiated, then the master promises to make sure that that soul which is embodied in that human frame is going to reach its goal. So the responsibility of the master is primarily at the spiritual level, at the level of a soul, to make sure that the soul is well, the soul is well nourished, the soul is remembering God, the soul is taking journeys towards God, the soul is experiencing God. And since the soul is embodied in the body, the responsibility is that the soul would be living its life properly while in that human frame. The emotional, the mental and the physical states in which that soul resides also become the responsibility of the master power. So the master power is there to help our soul get back to God. And so it's going to do everything in its power to make sure that our soul gets back to God. And so in that process, all help that we need to get to our goal would be provided. Now, we do come with a baggage of karma, okay, which is the Sanchit karma. So at the time of a holy initiation, that baggage is taken care of by the master power. So that's gone. So whatever junk we brought with us, whatever bad karmas we have, whatever load we have is gone, that we brought with us. The difficulty is that not only do we have pralabdha karma, which is what we're going to play out in this life, we also have kriyaman karma, which we are creating every day. So our pains are coming because some of them are coming because of a pralabdha karma and others are coming because we've created them. So when we create them, then if we start to say, oh, I'm creating pain, but I don't want the master to have pain, then, we're like dilling-dalling. We should fix ourselves. If we don't want the master power to take our pain, then get rid of the pain yourself. Lead your life so you don't have any pain. Because it's the responsibility of the master power to take care of our pains, because the pains are related with our soul. Even though the pains could be in the body, they could be in our mind, they could be in our emotions, but they are actually affecting our soul. And they're affecting how our soul is leading its life. So, the best thing that a disciple can do is to lead a life which is pious, lead a life which is ethical, lead a life in which they meditate regularly for enough time so that their karma that they're creating on a daily basis get burned out automatically. And if we do that, then we are not going to be creating burdens for the master power. Okay? So on one hand, we create the trouble and we say we don't want because we can't take care of our own pains. So what is the master going to do? They're going to take care of our pain. It's just like, let's say you work and you're a provider for the family and you have a kid. And you send the kid to school and they drop out or they go out of school and they don't want to work. So you're not going to kick them out, you're going to make them at least have some meals in your house. If your kid becomes a bum, and they're not going to do anything and they're not going to make a living for themselves, so what will the parent do? The parent will make sure that the kid eats. We encourage them to go get a job, but they don't. We don't throw them out. We say, okay, we'll provide for you. So it's the same thing with the master power. Because we're all children of the Lord, and the responsibility of the master power is to help us at the level of our spirit, the level of our soul. So we need to do our part of that deal when we got initiated, which is to lead an ethical life, to put the ethical virtues in our life, to lead a spiritual life, to put enough time to the meditative practices, so that the karmic load that we have, which is coming from the pralabdha karma, which is going to be played out, and the karmic load that we are creating every day, which is kriyaman karma, that those can be burned off by ourselves. And if we do that, then we are not going to put any more burden on the master power. But when we don't do that kind of stuff, then all kinds of other difficulties have to be taken care of, because master power is not going to say, hey, get out of the house and go home and do whatever you can. We need to make sure that we're all taken care of, and that's the job of the master power. So we need to look at ourselves as to how we're leading our lives. And this is where Sant Kirpal Singh Ji Maharaj said, even if we err, he said we get another birth, we err more, we get a third birth, we get more, we get a fourth birth. He said by that time you would be fixed anyway. But we don't have to wait that long. We don't have to have 3-4 living masters come and help us. We can be helped by the one who initiated us in our lifetimes, and we can reach our goals. And so if we do our part of the share, then we will all be reaching home, be leading lives which are going to be well.